In terms of mystery spinners, let's try and throw one more agenda in there. We've pretty much concluded round the world, every team likes to look for a mystery spinner. It could be a wrist spinner with variety. It could be someone who doesn't really have a definition, Harsha. Varun Chakravarthy is the only one who fits into that role in Team India.
And I'll be very interested in seeing what Virat and Ravi think about Varun Chakravarthy. I know they were very keen to play him in Australia just to see how he fits in there. But if you look at the way the Indian team is structured, Bumrah is going to play. If Bhuvi is not fit, there might be a Chahat, but there'll be one other fast bowler maybe somewhere who won't bat. Bumrah won't bat, Chahal won't bat, Chakravarthy won't bat. So I don't see Chahal and Chakravarthy both playing together. So really it's up to the team management to see how they regard Chakravarthy, because I think he's fighting for the same spot. I'm almost certain that he will be in the squad, because I foresee the squad to be much, much bigger than just 15, given the very strict quarantine rules in the UAE. I foresee that squad to be much bigger. So I'm almost certain he will be in the squad. Now, once he is in the squad, they might look at certain teams and say, yeah, okay, maybe against this team, Chakravarthy instead of a Chahal. Or if you get a really slow track one day, then we'll play both if Hardik is going to function as the third seamer. But from what we've seen of him so far, he's bowled a difficult overs. I noticed last year for KKR, he was doing that too. And I thought on that pitch, he looked the best spinner. Kuldeep got his wickets and had one bad over, so let's be fair to Kuldeep. But I thought he bowled excellently. The one thing I would like to see in those numbers, and I know we've got numbers comparing Varun Chakravarthy with all the other spinners too, is I think people have started playing him out, which is also a sign of respect for him, because his economy rate has come down and his strike rate has gone up a little bit. Look, economy rate 6.95 is very good, even though he's bowling into the end. But see the average and the strike rate. He's not taking as many wickets as a Chahal, because I think they're starting to play him out a little more safely.
Yeah, I think if you had a look at that particular list, the king of being played out in the modern era is Rashid Khan.
And he still gets wickets.
He still gets wickets. Yeah. But there are those 4 overs, none for 16 type spells that are still coming. He had that in the 100. He had the first game where he went wicketless. They were cautious. Second game, he comes man of the match. So, I mean, there is that scenario. But Zaheer, looking at those numbers for Varun Chakravarthy, it's all about where you want to use him. And where do you see his most effective spot in the side where he'd bowl?
Well, I think it's going to be very interesting how Indian team is going to look at achieving that balance. And that ball balance which we often talk about when Hardik is playing. So, you have, if Hardik is playing as a third seamer, then that gives you option to play extra spinner. And if that option is going to bowl in the new ball, so if you're playing with the 3 spinners in the playing 11, you need one of your spinners to bowl with the new ball. Then you are able to stack up those overs. Otherwise, you will never be able to stack up those overs if your bowler, one of the spinners, is not bowling those 2 overs in the power play. And we've seen that in this series itself. When Saini didn't bowl, they used the 5 bowlers. They had to bowl 2 overs of spin in the power play. Even when Krunal played, he bowled 2 overs of spin. If you're looking at that kind of balance, then your all-rounder becomes very important. And you can go in with just Bumrah and one fast bowler which you pick. If you want the experience of Bhuvneshwar, so be it. Someone who can bowl with the new ball, or you have someone like Deepak Chahar who is going to add with the bat as well at the back end with that power. Maybe batting at number 8. So those are the kind of questions which are going to be interesting for us to also see. What direction the team is going in. Nonetheless, if you see the opposition and you see the big teams, they've been struggling against spin. You just take out the numbers of all the power hitters. Pace off has been working against them. So if that is the case, then it's better to go in with the 3 spin option, then which means you will have to look for those options and look for those answers within the group within the pool of player which you have to select from. So if they're going in that direction, then Varun Chakravarthy is also going to come into play. You've seen the other names also there, right? Like, you have Aksar, you have Ravindra Jadeja as well, and you have Rahul Chahar and Yuzvendra Singh. So I think Yuzvendra Chahal, sorry. So basically, all these names are going to be definitely around. It's just that what direction your coach, your captain, your selectors, they decide on. I think that coming together is going to be very important. If they all are on the same page, all these answers are going to get answered in a very, very systematic manner.